We've had 4 Despicable Me movies, and now a third Minions movie joins the franchise, which totals 7 Minion-related movies. It's called Minions and Monsters. It's new in UK cinemas. I have seen it. Let's talk about it. Hey stranger, welcome back to the video, a brand new movie review. Today I'm talking all about Minions and Monsters. It's brand new in cinemas across the UK right now. I have seen it before we start talking about it. As always, a friendly reminder, these are just my thoughts. Don't let this dictate whether or not you go and see it. You might see it and feel totally differently to me. That is okay. Movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without any further ado, we start talking about this film. And I'm not going to lie, I sort of watched the trailer for this film when it first was announced and I was like, really? Another Minions movie? I just think we sort of got to the point now where these Minions movies don't necessarily feel as authentic, as good, as enjoyable. Just because it's just the same recycled gags over and over and over again. Like, they're dumb little minions that don't really know what they're doing. And I feel like now all of these Minions prequels to Despicable Me are just irrelevant. And I know the whole argument is they're for kids. And I know the whole argument is, like, it's not that serious, and these are just stories for entertainment. But I feel like at the end of the day now, I just feel like they're making them for the sake of making them. Don't get me wrong, this movie had its moments, and I think the cameos were great, and I do feel like the story was, it was quickly paced, it was what you expected from a Minions movie. Like, it wasn't a bad Minions movie, but it's just like, it's the same as all of the other ones, just done slightly differently with a slightly different plot. And that's kind of where it is. It just feels really recycled to me. However, this film debuted on Rotten Tomatoes with a plus 90% score, which is incredible. Apparently one of the biggest ones for a Minions movie. I don't necessarily see the appeal. The plot feels very basic. It's a little bit weird at times. I don't know, I just don't really understand why they're making movies and stuff, and it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense, because originally these were the little team for Gru, and I feel like now, before they were working with Gru, they were in the UK working with the Queen, and then they were at VillainCon doing stuff with loads of other villains before Gru, and now they're making movies in Hollywood, and I'm like, considering the fact that they're not that intelligent things, they're actually doing loads and loads of stuff. That's my flaw with it. However, to contrast negativity, it's fine. It's going to entertain the kids. If you're looking for the target audience are going to enjoy this film, which are young children. They're going to enjoy it. It's funny. It's silly. There's monsters. There's minions. Title, do you know what I mean? But for me, I don't really know what I can say other than that it is a Minions movie. It's what you expect from a Minions movie, but it just seems really forced now. It doesn't feel as authentic as the first lot, and I just feel like we're really pushing it now with Minions, and I'm like, Minions have sort of died out now. They've had their moment. It's sort of I don't know what other thing, Smurfs and Angry Birds, those type of things, they all had their moment, and they're just not as popular anymore because we've got a different generation. So I think I'll be saying the same thing about the new Angry Birds movie that's coming out. I said the same thing about the Smurfs movie that came out last year. That is done. People aren't interested in Smurfs anymore. People aren't interested in Angry Birds anymore. Maybe I'll be proved wrong with the new Angry Birds movie, but that's kind of how I feel about this film as well. But it's fine. It's fine, and I am one of those people that actually quite enjoyed Despicable Me 4, so I'm not saying all of these new Minions movies are pointless, but I feel like we're at a stage now where they announce another Minions movie, and I'm not like, yay, I'm like, okay, another one. That's kind of how I feel. So, it was good, it was good, it was enjoyable, but I do think at times a bit pointless, and it's by no means a flawless film, in my opinion. If you're looking for a silly, goofy time at the cinema, something to just please the kids, then yeah, this is going to be a great film. If you're looking for more of a meaningful, thoughtful, well-rounded kids film, Toy Story 5. I know I'm biased because I love Toy Story, but I don't know, there's just a whole different I know this is the fifth franchise, the fifth installment of the Toy Story franchise, and I know that this is like the seventh installment of a Minions franchise. So I know that they're like loads and loads of films in this franchise. So do they need to keep making some? No, but if you're going to do it, I think Disney did it so well because they knew that this is a fifth Toy Story film. We don't need it, but there's meaning behind it. This is a seventh Minions movie, and it just feels like a cash grab, is my personal opinion. But there you go. There's my thoughts on Minions and Monsters. I kind of said the same thing a lot of the time, just slightly differently. But yeah, they're my thoughts. As always, before I wrap up this movie review, what do I rate it out of 10? Would it join my DVD collection? I'm giving it a slap bang in the middle of 5 out of 10. It was fine. It was good at times, but I think this is probably the one of the weakest Minions movies / Despicable Me movies that they've done so far. Will it join my DVD collection? It probably will at some point, purely because of the fact I have all 4 Despicable Me's and I have the previous 2 Minions movies. So I hate having an incomplete collection. So, you know, it probably will join my collection at some point, but it definitely won't be a first in like day of release purchase. That's what I can say. But there you go. Like I say, Minions and Monsters, it's new in cinemas across the UK. In the description below is the movie plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to my movie review playlist. It features every single movie review that I've ever done. More to come soon, including the brand new live action Moana. It drops next week. You'll hear my thoughts on that as soon as it drops. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in another video and hopefully another movie review very soon.